Okay, today is August 25th, 2017, and we're looking at Hurricane Harvey right here, which is a Category 2 storm moving right into, it looks like Corpus Christi, Texas is going to be the point where this storm hits nearest. We've got Brownsville, which is further down, right on the edge of the border there. Now, we do see some blast pattern evidence, but it is a half-hearted attempt by these weather controllers to stop this storm. All of the subscribers out there that have been following this channel since 2015 know very well the capability of these terrorists and how they can re-steer hurricanes. We've seen many examples of that out on the eastern and central Pacific. We've seen how these hurricanes are steered around Hawaii. They can steer them, they can blow them apart. I've got plenty of evidence of all of that in the more than 700 videos on this channel. Now, today we see an example of a hurricane that's been allowed to move in and probably do a lot of many millions of dollars in damage to the South Texas area. Now, one of the things that's interesting about what's happening today is the fact that the Doppler transmitters located in Brownsville and Corpus Christi are apparently not doing a whole lot of work to break these bands down. Down in Brownsville, KBRO is the transmitter, the Doppler transmitter, which is located right down here. Now, yesterday, when this storm was further southeast, we saw that a lot of these bands were being chopped up. We saw a scatter pattern from the transmitter broadcasting out of Brownsville. We could triangulate all those beams of microwave right to this area. So KBRO yesterday was doing a pretty good job of breaking this down. Today we don't see much evidence of that at all. Also up in Corpus Christi, Texas, we have KCRP, which is another Doppler, microwave Doppler transmitter, right up in this area, which should be breaking up these bands. It looks like the people running these transmitters, which are the same folks that are running the satellite transmitters, by the way, it's all coordinated. And also the chemtrail operation, that is, all this is a coordinated operation run by the Department of Defense. But today we don't see much of a defense being demonstrated here today. I've got a screenshot yesterday, as I mentioned, of the Brownsville transmitter doing a pretty good job of breaking up, thinning out this heavy moisture moving in. All right, let's look at the, this is the water vapor map. We can see a blast pattern all the way around the storm, but it is insufficient. We still have an eye wall. As I've mentioned over and over, these storms can be completely destroyed with the microwave. They superheat the storm. Let's take a look at the visible light map right now. We can see the dimple marks being left behind by that microwave transmitter right here. There's several actually all through this area. Now these are where the transmitters actually hit the storm and is superheating the water vapor. We can see the previous blast pattern up here. If we move to the next frame, we can see what happens. These all expand out into bigger craters, causing this this icicle pattern we see on the north side. So there's been a lot of transmitter targeting here, but the fact is that it is not sufficient. They're allowing this storm to move in, so they're hitting the storm with insufficient power levels to knock it out. And that's all there is to it. If you scroll to my, I've got over 700 videos now on this channel. If you look at the videos from July, August, September, October of 2015, you'll see numerous examples of hurricanes being steered around Hawaii, blown apart as they approach Hawaii. Sometimes they'll put on a show and run the storm right up against the coastline of Hawaii, then at the last second they blow it apart. Now that could happen here today as well. Here's the eye wall. This is not moved in yet. It'll be there within the next hour or two, next couple of hours probably. Now, as we look at the rainbow map, the infrared map, we see an eye wall right there, and we see these blast pattern, of course, and we see some color change, but once again, they're not using sufficient power to kill that off, kill that storm. Over here we have another disturbance. They're targeting that. You see the blast pattern right here shooting out right there. Look at that. Right through Florida out to the northeast. That is a blast ring right there, a pressure wave. So this area right here is being, they're putting more power actually on this developing disturbance right here than they are over on this storm. And the only reason that would happen is because of the incentives that Wall Street offers. We've got, as I say over and over, there's plenty of incentive on Wall Street. If you're an insider, you can make millions of dollars. If you're on the outside, if you're not on the inside, you're on the outside, as the saying goes. And of course, this is being allowed to move in. We don't know if cities along here have quit paying their insurance, hurricane insurance royalties or premiums. Their insurance premiums have not been paid, maybe because of the fact that a major hurricane has not plowed into any of these cities in over 10 years. I think Tropical Storm Bill was the last big storm that moved right through, right up into, I think it was Texas and Louisiana here a few years ago. I think it was just 2 or 3 years ago, Tropical Storm Bill. So this here is not a major storm, but it's a big storm, and it's being allowed to move in. And you do see the blast pattern up here, so some effort is being made, but it's a half-hearted attempt. It's a confidence game. If you look at my videos going back, like I said, 2015 and 2016, there's just dozens of examples. All right, let's look at the West Coast now. And we see that a heat wave is being engineered. Turn off that last. Okay, here we go. We have a heat wave being engineered here in the Southwest and in California. Right here we have, this is what's left of Hurricane Kenneth, right where the tip of the pen is, right there. Now what's happened since yesterday, we had a long tail of moisture that was moving right into Northern California. This area started to spin counterclockwise. And what do we see? We have a transmitter right here evaporating that moisture as it moves in to Northern California. Also, we have another opportunity right here. This is a counterclockwise spinning low. And that is moving right towards Southern California. And we have installed high pressure to block and prevent this from moving in. All this moisture, we got two upper level lows forming, plus the remnants of Kenneth right there, which is trying to rebuild. So once again, we see very obvious high pressure being installed right in this area, which is not only blocking these developing lows, but it's also blocking the monsoonal flow to the north up through Mexico. Apparently, there is some plan to allow this storm to move into Texas. We can see high pressure between the monsoonal moisture right down here and this hurricane, which is moving in. So we've got high pressure all through this entire area to maintain the separation. And we can see a transmitter right there blowing that, superheating this thing and blowing that apart. This area of thunderstorms right here is being blown apart with a microwave transmitter. These are all satellite based. There's a right angle right on this area here. Let's take a look at that. It's developing low as a right angle. Take a look at that right there. That is a satellite based microwave doing that work. And that will separate the frontal system from this developing low. That'll separate that, and we'll be left with just a vortex spinning with no moisture wrapping around it. So this effectively separates the moisture from the low pressure center right here. And once again, we see the evaporation pattern. This should be bringing a lot of rain and cool temperatures to Northern California. And same thing here, developing low right there. And we have the leftovers here of Kenneth that should all be moving in and getting cooler temperatures for Southern California. Instead, we've got 100 to 105 degree temperatures forecasted for this entire the Arizona area, and also for the valley areas of Southern California. All right, so that's it. That's the report, and we'll just leave it right here.